Firefighters say it burned a while before being reported, and it may have been caused by someone smoking in bed. You see, the school has not been in operation for 15 years, and homeless people have been using it as an unofficial shelter. The discovery of some financial assistance forms revealed some of the homeless people perhaps were from out of town.
We've discovered from a preliminary interviews that some of the people are in fact from San Francisco, and so we'll be contacting San Francisco so that they can take responsibility for the homeless people.
Is there any other place to take them?
Damn.
Take the computer lane. We'll take care of it. Oh, bullshit. I'm in the green, baby. Yeah, I got greenback coming this week. Yeah, right.
January 17th, approximately 08:30 hours. Task Force Team 3, get ready to mobilize.
I know, but I need two more. You want me to get
Key drop-off area. Come around this way. Get your sign in. It's medical. Equipment pickup. Down. The room is ready to go. It's been organized. Boots, coveralls, necessary equipment. Ready for Task Force 3 to roll. Proper lifting with the proper form. There's the legs, not using your back.
Wait a second. Jesus! I'm out already. Hey, watch out, John's looking.
A couple rescue team members. Jim Stevens, Tim Campbell, inventorying the equipment.
You know when the food truck's coming. I am a cook.
Yes, I am.
It's on the basement. And I'm near here. And they're going to come up and check it. There's no sense in taking it off the shelf and bringing it back. Right.
So that's just a little, it's kind of a poor time to change plans.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
So what my thing to you is assignment desk, receive task force organizational chart. So I got to find a task force organization.
Task Force Leader Chief Risen, sorting through the paperwork that is necessary for an operation of this nature. Action.
John Clark can handle and do very well. John is our team water boy.
Forklift is now here, ready to mobilize. Time now is 8:55. It is now 9 o'clock. And we have 2 people shown up so far. Waiting. Here's a task force team member. State your name and rank.
George Berry, communications specialist.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah. Well, why don't we take the broken one with us? Let's do that. Hey, we're starting to
That says it all, folks. Rex Einstein checking in here.
Okay, some of these names may be questionable at the bottom of the list. These people are the dogs that are signed by OES, so we don't know. Squad A. South San Francisco, Palo Alto will fill the medical component. Their analysis will fill the team manager position, and also the other structural specialist. South County Fire's hazmat, the rest is filled in. Remember to write the numbers of the bags that they get. You guys have your numbers? Yeah. Okay, once your vehicle, you don't have your vehicle is parked over on Litchfield, right there. That's across there. And once it's secure, you bring me in.
Performing vital duties to this mission. You know, I'm like the offensive lineman of this operation, unsung hero.
You gotta hear the crowd roar.
Anybody see it?
Oh, we got serious camera footage right
What do you have here? What's going on here, Slade?
What we have here is we're just loading boxes, getting organized, and God knows it's
No. Hey Ed, what time is it?
Jeff Schreiber!
Hey Ed.
Yeah. Big plastic one.
Big plastic one.
How many?
How many?
Enough to fit all that stuff in right there.
What time is it, Ed?
Stuff that's on the
That's
behind the wheel.
Here's all the equipment off Rescue 1 ready to go.
We will do the moving for you.
It is now 12 o'clock, lunchtime. Food van is here, courtesy of McDonald's. Flatbed truck is here, 40-footer. Putting air in the tires there. Dam trans buses are here, ready to go.
1.5 to 2 hour drive. We'll be loading our equipment from there, and we'll be flying down to Los Alamitos Air Force Base in Southern California. That'll be our staging area. From there, they'll assign us to where we're going to go. A couple reminders. We are on a mission. We represent your own organization.
South County has that EPA on your utility 5 to 7 minutes.
You represent the state OES. You represent the federal FEMA. Keep that in mind, that we're not out there to fool around. We can have a good time, but I mean, we want to keep some structure to our organization. We want to keep some seriousness and professionalism to what we're doing. So I want you to keep that in mind when we get down there. When we start working on projects, we'll try to keep our groups together. You're all assigned to certain groups. There's the rescue teams of the A, B, C, D, and E. We'll try and utilize you guys as full teams, whether it's setting up a base camp or out on a mission. There's other teams, the hazmat people,
12 o'clock, place is now empty. In the classroom for a debriefing.
See this being funny right now in LA. It's okay to have a good time, just maintain that serious level. Professionalism, please stay professional. If there's any questions, use the chain of command. We will go right up and down that structure. Hopefully we won't have any problems. Ben Marr is the leader. Each one of the squad leaders will get a roster. I want you to get, when we go out of here, I want you to get your 6 people together. That's how we're going to load the bus, by components, all right? As soon as we're out of here, grab your gear, get in your groups, and you're going to load on the bus, all right? But I want you loaded in the components. I want rescue squads together. I want logistics. They're going to take the pickup truck together. I want the dog people together. I want all those people together. Now, the team heads, in terms of the team managers, if you have a team manager position, we all want to go on the same bus together with Chief Riz and myself. All those people, we want on a different bus. If you got a white helmet, you're a team manager. Command officers, I want you in your vests. And let's be professional. We are a federal team now, So let's go ahead and break off into your component teams. Team managers, see me real quick to get a list. Yes, Bill?
I wanted to say a couple things about the radio.
Okay, hold on. Let me say one thing of communications. You will be issued your radios when we get there, okay? Because the batteries and other things have to be stored with hazardous cargo. So, you know, bear with us your batteries.
What time is it, Ed?
It's 1:45.
We're out of here. 12:45, everything's getting loaded up. Yeah. Yeah. I really wish you were going instead of me.
Next year, baby.
Team is on the way.
Somebody's sitting here, I guess.
So there's the lead bus, all the team leaders, medical, logistics, communication specialist, and who else? 40-foot flatbed, loaded and ready.
Big vapor up is if you get into situations where you start picking up bodies and smell of bodies, it'll mask the smell because you guys have to work
Rescue, rescue team A.
Your team leaders got it.
Rescue team.
Thanks, Coach. I don't got one.
Who team you? Right here.
Team, this is bus number 3.
So he'll probably tell him. By the way, I'm happy to get my moves. Somewhere down the road, they want to go to the valley. But right now, they have keep this bus moving when these bigger go past. That's one of the problems. Hey, man.
Task Force 3, ready to go.
Over there.
Far end.
Let's go.
3 o'clock, we're at Travis Air Force Base.
White trailer. There's some white over there. Set your bags down. Just on the other side of the white truck over there.
Your name and social security number down here for time being.
Once again, more paperwork here at Travis.
Photo 1, Mike Sweeney, taking care of business.
Right here. This is right here. We don't want to drop down from here. We're just clustering. Okay, that's fine. We'll have to stay in a group in one area.
Yeah, Sacramento's task force here. The task force 2.
Mr. June.
Loading up on the pallets.
150.
Hey Frank, what time is it?
There you go.
345 now.
3:45, loading onto the pallet.
Pretty good seat on this pallet. This is our pallet. 56 guys on one pallet. Backpack. Backpack. Nothing else I'll be able to swim tonight. Are you going on the
Couple guys will help out here.
We condensed this load from 3 pallets to
Okay, once again,
1 pallet.
hopefully everybody strapped their backpack strap. Little fanny pack again. At this point, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and go back to that area over there, and you guys know where the bathroom is. You can maybe put on a little water in your canteens, just so we got something to drink in the aircraft. Want to stay hydrated. Remember to go through those.
No, it's all press is handled through our PIO office in Sacramento. Okay. All right.
Warehouse. It's the warehouse area at Travis Air Force Base. Very large facility. Pan around to the outside here, the loading area, and then out to the plane. Hey, Harry.
Bill's shit's right here.
Sleeping bag. Let's see.
0700. And the gym, sleeping area.
Well, hey, logistics, thank you very much.
Rexy, how'd you sleep last night?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, good
This is Rex Einstein. This is 32nd deployment over the 20-year period.
Oh, Bill, you know who's here with Sacramento? No. Remember our Canadian rescue drill guy?
Sure. Did you like that?
That was good. Yeah, I always wanted to look at him. He's here. He's don't say that.
Task Force members Edwards and Smith.
We're ready for action.
Day 2 of operation. It's about 8:30 in the morning here. Just after breakfast.
Stand by.
I was just in early briefing. We definitely got an assignment, and our assignment is one standby. I'll get
The gymnasium where about 200 task force members spent the night. No heat. A lot of methane gas.
Another aftershock.
Oh my God. The kitchen here. The eating area. Command post up there. There you go, here's the kitchen, Joe. They're cleaning up after a good breakfast. Fed everybody. The eating area here.
You got a TV crew up there.
We got a conference call going.
What room do we have here? What room is it? What's this room called?
State.
This is OES office?
Yeah, EOC, state EOC, regional.
Oh, EOC? Okay.
Garden Ready's gas. Okay, so it's National Flood Insurance.
Take them out, that's
Okay.
Yeah, parent shelter rep. Parent shelter.
Oh, okay.
Mark, a question that's been brought up, is there a timeline on the money that the task forces have been authorized to spend? Okay.
Sacramento's task force unloading some materials.
Something to, once again, keep the stress level down and take care of yourself. So I encourage PT at 10:30. At 10:30 for some people, we're going to need to break off into a meeting regarding equipment purchasing of the $125,000. Those people will be myself, Mike Cochran, Dr. Press Tom from Logistics, Keith Slade, Jeff Schreiber, Brian Beatnell, Bill Moore from Communications, and Steve Gass from Hazmat. So we need to get those people at 10:30. Why don't we go ahead and meet right outside the, in that breezeway right outside the gymnasium over there. 10:30 we'll meet.
Back at the, here we are back at the staging area, and once again, Pork Chop Risden is dead out on his feet again.
13 hours.
13 hours he's been sleeping. Whoop! We finally got him up. We just got him up now. Isn't that something? He still has pork chop juice dripping down his...
Start handing them up? Yep. Hand them.
1,300 hours here, afternoon meeting.
Those are actually VCRs in a food box.
Way to be.
This is for general sportsmen.
This is Task Force 3 looting at the, Vino, Bilko.
Does that work?
By the time we get home, when we get home, hey, they might have
What do you know?
Turn the camera off! Turn the camera off!
Hey, hurry up and get back. We need you. You just set this stuff there. We can keep this out from drinking it later.
You're clear! Go get some more!
We can drink it from down.
Scramble!
Hey, Brian, we need a TV. 4:30, we got a ball game.
Oh, yeah? What are you playing?
IU and Purdue.
What? You're at the spread?
Group, so the rescue team, the search component, technical team, all the players, as well as the medical group will all get together for about half an hour and go through a critique in-house on what they can do better, what went well, what didn't go well, how we can improve operations in the future. We're going to do that at the theater. So Ben Marr is going to lead the way. He knows. Once again, you know,
in his glory.
it looks at this point they're going to another meeting. It looks like we're probably going to get deactivated either this evening or tomorrow. That's why some of the people aren't here, because they're out purchasing that equipment, because we have a window of opportunity to do that before the mission closes. Yeah.
Can I say one thing? You guys are going to be breaking down into about 4 classrooms.
That's most of you, and of course in certain areas that we've never
those
really
are just
touched, street gas, and the hazmat guys helped us out with that because of shortfalls and that. So we're trying to fill some of those holes. For those of you, how many people here went to Hurricane Iki? You know, some of you guys have been through this before, but we want to go, we're moving ahead again, which is very fortunate. This exercise, like I said, you know, Chief Lisa mentioned, think of this as an exercise in mobilization. Because if we would have done this any other way, like the April exercise, which we still may do, but a little bit differently now, what would have happened is you all would have had to do that on your time off. And so, you know, we're all getting paid to be here. This is a real, we're the only federal team that I know that's deployed 2 times. You know, unfortunately we haven't been able to do anything yet, but hopefully that'll change. And then, in terms of important things that have happened, once again, we flexed the system to see how it all works. I think we learned, once again, what the shortfalls were. That's what we want to find out today from you guys. I want to know, in the different groups, how you perceived how the went, how you perceived how the equipment allocation, personal equipment allocation went to you. What are our shortcomings in those things, if we have any at all? I know the gear, in terms of the Connex boxes and the equipment, I mean, there's definitely a long ways to go on that, and there's a lot of room for improvement. We were on the road to doing some of those things. You know, somebody mentioned the military and how the problems, a lot of our problems were with.
A lot better than just dumping us out there to load up this stuff.
Yeah, that was, part of that was to get the manifest done. Part of that's because you need an advance team, I think, to get in there and really, you know, say, hey, here's where we want to put our people and take care of it. If you don't know, there was really no representation from DOD or OES there to meet us. They're supposed to be according to the manual. Because of that, there was a lot of holes. Because of that, you know, they're supposed to take care of us. So what do? Hey, we walked up on the loading ramp. There was no place to put us. I mean, that was a shitty place to be, especially when it started getting cold at nighttime and, you know, it was noisy, hard to do briefings and stuff. I know Travis has an airport. I mean, I slept on it. You know it too, because you slept on the floor in it.
Risden called Bob. Okay. And Risden can either call NASA Ames or he can call Bob, and then the page will go out for NASA. And we'll all get it and meet at NASA and start throwing our gear together.
What kind of paging system is that? All we're asking for is, you know, 56. We'll mark out who's up for that month.
Going, and then eventually we'll get ideas from you guys that we could do that.
Technical group having their afternoon meeting.
We'll start with communications.
Well, one thing, communications that I have is that obviously we didn't, you know, the batteries were kind of didn't know that, and they're more than willing to donate it, okay? And in fact, that stuff we can always keep forever. I'm not sure, they might want it back actually. And you know, we can return it to them if we don't use it too, because we don't actually want to just keep taking things from them and not.
The medical group have their afternoon briefing. Dr. Tom.
And so that they understand that we're not costing them anything. We, like for this trip, we could return 100% of what we borrow. But that's what we need, is some kind of relationship with local hospitals, like 2 or 3 of them.
Kaiser last time said that they had an interest in doing it. They just needed time to go and set it up through corporate. And the nice thing about them is that they're like Stanford or something else, where you know, they see a lot of people routinely, so their pharmacies and their central supplies are fairly well stocked. You know, one thing, maybe even going back, you know, if we're doing a critique, what it might be good, I think, like what you said, Mike, is talking about someone's up here. But just kind of going through some of these lists and just to jog our memory, and as far as things that we can improve.
Search and rescue group having their meeting. Afternoon briefing.
So well, we understand in NASA, we don't expect you guys to come, because we come and participate with you, and you participate.
Or early tomorrow morning. We're in the process of taking our Connex boxes over to the tarmac. We're leaving one pallet over here. It's the one that all our bags go on. We'll have our bags here in case we have to spend the night. If we don't, the bags will go on the pallet. We'll rebuild the pallet much like we did over at Travis, and it'll be ready to go. The building that had collapsed, I wanted to tell the dog people, but they apparently aren't here now. Apparently, the dogs were very instrumental in getting the last 3 people out of that building in a collapsed area that only had about a foot to 18 inches of area for them to get them out. And without the dogs, they weren't going to be able to find them right away. So that's a real plus in how some of the functions of this team and the disciplines that we have on this team all work together to make it all happen.
Was it a rescue or a recovery?
Rescue. The final one was recovery. They've been talking about us setting up a base camp and everything like that. We will not be breaking down our Conex boxes to do that. Our Conex boxes, by the way, I think we've had discussions with many of you about why can't we do this and why can't we do that and all these things. Our Conex boxes have never had a problem leaving Travis and heading to wherever we want to go. We're on the process of our second time. They're having a problem getting home. The Conex box that fits on the pallet going, fits on the same pallet that should be coming back, seems to have a problem. We're not on the code 3 response going. We're on the channel mission, yeah, coming home. We'll not be going home in a C5, the big jet that we came down in. We'll be going home in a C-130, which is out of the 3 kind of transport planes. We got great big C5, medium-sized 141, and little bitty 130. Whether we can get all of us on one plane or not, I'm not sure. As I recall, we can get 5 pallets and some people on it, but I think we probably need at least two of those to transport our team. Our downside is our Conex boxes could cause a problem. Sacramento's downside is they got 9 pallets. So our downside is probably a little less than theirs. We can probably get out here early. The bottom line is we're not leaving anything behind that needs to be done. They've completed all the mission at the one location where they had the disaster. We're not needed anymore. There's no more urban search and rescue functions that need to be done, although they do have a lot of cleanup and a lot of repair and a lot of things that have to be done. It's nothing more that we're involved in. So we came down, we were prepared. We didn't get the function, but we were all ready, and such is life. The more we practice, the better off we're going to be. Yeah, question?
Are we still going to be #1 for February if we've been activated?
We are #1 team for February. Yeah. How many times you get activated doesn't make any difference in our rotation. So we are up #1 in February. You might all keep that in mind.
Hope for that disaster.
Yeah. Question over here.
For large-scale that work at the Northridge apartments, did they go under the FEMA name, or did they go under their individual department names? In other words, is there any publicity for FEMA on that?
Yeah, FEMA USAR got real good publicity, and in fact, as I understand, Governor Wilson was on scene when they pulled one of the last people out, and was real impressed with what they were able to do. So, and it's the press. Once again, the ink on this thing has been real good for.
All right, go ahead.
How you doing?
Good.
My name's Ben with Metal Park Fire. I'm going to show you our pack that we carry on our back that has all our personal gear and sleeping gear. What we have here is a sleeping pad. Just a little something to make your sleep a little easier. Again, we have a mummy bag, sleeping bag, which is good at 20 degrees. In the pack itself, when we open up the main compartment, I have my personal gear bag, which is in our rescue unit a certain size. In that I have all my personal gear, toiletry items, socks, t-shirts, stuff that I need to wear the most, a couple pairs of pants, some shorts. Now in the base of the compartment here, since I'm a squad leader, I carry a medical pack. Just for us, real quick,
real basic medical pack for any of our team members that get hurt. I got a big quartz light. I got my fog manual. Over in this compartment here, my helmet would be here when I receive it. I pull my helmet out. I have another coat, wildland coat, eye protection also for breathing respirator, my own Scott mask, pair of gloves. Okay, in the side compartments again, they're just open for whatever else I need to put in. And that's pretty much it.
Is there any kind of food in there or that you can put in there?
Just the stuff that you carry. You know, if you want to bring some candy bars, some nourishment, some drinks, but otherwise that's it. Carry it this way. I got a back strap like this. Also, you can also open it up, and it turns into a backpack.
And each team member has this, right?
Each team member has these. Depending on what your position is, they're set up for that position. So they all have basically the same stuff, but it will change per your position. That's pretty much it for your Marrakesh backpack.
Thank you. And, you know. All right, good.
Okay, this is Task Force 7's pack. They use pack to carry out to the field. What we carry in here is usually stuff that we have for the first 24 hours or so while we're here. I carry a toothbrush and some toothpaste and a pair of shorts. This is mostly my personal gear here. I got my hat, also long sleeve sweater. I carry some old gloves and a camera in here. Also inside is some MREs, PEDs. I carry 2 of these for the first 24 hours just in case we don't have any lunch or dinner or anything like that. And then down below I got 2 canteens and support. And this pack is some of the stuff that they issue us, like the MREs. We got some just field goggles, safety goggles, headlamps in here. Also got some insect repellent, some ear protection. I also carry some hard candies and stuff like that, which is just for extra sugar and stuff. And that's pretty much it. We also have our helmets and just what we're wearing at the time. So that's about it.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, what we got here is our fanny packs, our personal gear. There's the 2 canteen bottles and the PAL for alert. If you get stuck and you need assistance. Inside we got various equipment. Comes with some gloves, goggles, some respirating material. Your headlamp for your helmet, saber light, some light sticks, got sunscreen, got other food bars, got a space blanket for protection, and we also have aspirin and replaceable lamp. We also got your helmet. That's basically it for the...
Is that carried with you at all times?
It's carried with us at all times.
On flight?
On flight. It's got meals, silverware. Carry it with us so that we are prepared at every time.
Good morning. Did you like the recycled meatloaf eggs you have? Okay. I haven't had a chance to meet all of you. My name is Mike Douglas. I'm the assistant chief with OES in charge of urban search and rescue. My counterpart, Mark Illarducci, who's a program manager, is working feverishly, and they're pumping him full of Valium in Sacramento, trying to make this demob happen.
I wanted to meet with you this within reason. We'll take a few questions if you have them that are pertinent to the demo. I don't want to get into a bit session. As I'll explain, some of these things are just unavoidable, and some of you who are veterans of mobilizations like this know that getting there and getting back are usually the two biggest problems. The in-between stuff we know how to do, we train to do that. It's this part where you have to deal with the highest levels of the federal, state, and local governments and the political entities there that really muck up the system. To bring you up to date on what you want to know about, and that's the demo. We are not going to be using, at last word about 2 minutes ago, California National Guard resources to fly you back. It will be Department of Defense resources, which means that the chain of command and the information loop has to go back to Washington, D.C., to the Director of Military Support, through FORSCOM, Air Force, etc. This doesn't happen in a split second. Okay, it takes time. All right. So, the word we got last night was they were going to try for 0700 this morning. Obviously, yeah, it didn't quite work that way. And the prognosis is we're probably going to ingest a little bit more meatloaf. I have talked to CDF, and they're going to make a concerted effort to try to vary the menu. I'm sure you'll be happy to know that.
Running out of options.
We have Rick Hilton, Sergeant Major Rick Hilton, who some of you know, who is the best person in the Air Force to get this kind of stuff done. If Rick Hilton can't do it, it can't be done, and he's been working just about 48 hours straight now to try to make this happen. So I think, that brings you up to date. I can't give you a time. It's not because I know it, I want to hide it. We just don't know. DOD can't tell us when the aircraft's going to arrive. As soon as we know, we'll pass it on to your task force leaders. I know that's frustrating to many of you. I know you want to go home, especially some of you on the civilian. By far, everybody agrees it's urban search and rescue. So again, that's the number one thing on people's minds. It's the number one thing in Washington right now. So really, we're on the cutting edge. We've developed a system. California has really taken a lead. I mean, we're really accelerating this program, and it's to give you a few words from the federal perspective. So anyway, I want to let you know, in the press, they've really been praising the USAR effort. Although you people here, we did not get mobilized, 4 of the California task forces did. So half of the USAR resources in California did go out. They did go out there. They did start saving lives. They did start doing what they were supposed to have done. Television cameras were there. The newspapers were there. Got a lot of good PR. And so we verify now that the system works. And all this baloney that we've been going through for training and some of these deals where we have to sit around and wait has not been for naught. Okay? It's accelerated the program. We've got good PR nationwide. So I think you have to look on the bright side. Again, I understand your frustration. I'm as anxious as you are to get out of here. But again, the wheels move slowly. Each time we do this, hopefully, the next time another little glitch gets eliminated. Following this, not today, but following this whole mobilization, we will be holding a conference to talk about the issues here. We'll be having your task force leaders and probably your team managers invited to this. It'll be a statewide conference, maybe 2 or 3 days, and we'll rehash some of the glitches that have gone on. We'll also look at a lot of the positive lessons that we've learned. So that's coming up, and we'll put some of that stuff in writing and into protocol so the next time things run just a little bit smoother. Jay, you had a question?
Has there been any consideration
contract with possibly Greyhound or someone and shipping you up by bus and maybe getting some trucks to follow you up with the equipment. That is still, 2 or 3 levels down as far as the goal goes. We don't think it's impossible to get the aircraft today.
We're hoping it's going to happen. The word I got, I called up 5 minutes before I came in here. The word was, yeah, they're saying we are going to get an aircraft. They just don't know when it's going to arrive today. But that's a good point, and that was discussed last night. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that we may have to go to that. We're not going to keep you guys here another 2 or 3 days. That's ridiculous. So, you know, if it looks like we go tomorrow and we still don't have an aircraft, that may be an option. Okay, I want to introduce you to Chuck Mills. A lot of you know Chuck. He's the secretariat for the program. Works out of Nassau, and again is representing FEMA Washington today. And I wanted to give him an opportunity to share his thoughts with you also.
Okay, is everybody disarmed? Yeah, I agree with you on that meatloaf. That stuff is doctor in here. I think the CDF is going to switch it to turkey meatloaf. One thing before what Mike said, even though you're frustrated because you're here, there's a hell of a lot of task forces in the United States are frustrated because they aren't here. And there's a lot of advantage to going through the pain and the misery you're going through. One thing I wanted to say in support of it, the things that we can control within FEMA and within California OES are working exceptionally well. When we have to rely on somebody else to support that, it's not working very well. And we have to go through these kind of drills to fix that damn problem. And if we don't have problems and we don't deal with them, like Mike says, then it's not going to get any better. So even though you may feel you're the scapegoat, a lot of people would like to be in your position in the United States out of the 25 task forces. There's a hell of a lot of them don't care if they have to come out here and go through this. They wanted to go through what you already received. So this exercise or this disaster you had is more for urban search and rescue in the world than anything we've done in the United States. A lot of teams got out, a lot of equipment is being purchased, a lot of training is being conducted, and a lot of procedures are going to go back and be analyzed. And what's going to happen, you're going to find out a lot of the training that happens in the next year is going to reflect what happens on this earthquake. And that's going to improve our system. Now, we know the DOD system to support it is not going to function right. And if they can't function on this one, if we had a big one, it's not going to function any better. So we got to figure out alternative ways, and ground transportation is a hell of a good alternative. If you're in 500-mile radius, it may be better to drive in the future, because then you got control of your, I would call it a turnkey, just like the strike team. When you go out and you turn your key and you go home, it's a whole lot easier to deal with than sit around a mob center. But there are some advantages of what you guys are doing here. And I come in here and I find 3 task forces all sitting around, milling, networking, functional things going on. I see a lot of training going on. And also, I hope one thing that you're doing is you're sitting down and putting the paper to pencil about what's not working right and how we can improve things. And Jay, when we have our next logistics session, Jay's one of the instructors. I'm sure a lot of what you learned here is going to go into that logistics course. You know, to improve it next time. And that's how we're going to make this system grow. So even though it is painstaking, one thing we're also going to do is we're going to have a national review of what went right and what went wrong on this, and some of you are probably going to be called in to be involved in that. So if you don't capture what went right and you don't constructively get it in the system, it probably won't get corrected. But we do have a process in urban search and rescue, probably the finest in the United States, to correct something that's wrong. And that's one thing we do have. It's not like having an institution, when this is over, you forget about it. We're going to take those issues and we're going to try to correct the problems. Any questions? Okay, to give you an up-to-date of what's going on, the Phoenix went home last night from March. Are you aware of that? Yeah, they went home. They had ground transportation. It was easy. We called. We got them released. 20 minutes, they were on the road. Puget Sound is still sitting at March. There's supposed to be an aircraft coming in at 11:30 today, a C-141. Supposed to take off at 2:30 this afternoon. They should be back in their Puget Sound area at McCord Air Force Base about 4:30 this afternoon. So that will be the last resource out of March as far as urban search and rescue. Now there are DMATs and everything else in there that will have to be processed. So that activity is going on. Now we put that in the hopper yesterday about probably 9 or 10 in the morning. And it took a while to get that thing going. But remember, you got a higher priority to get somewhere than you do to go home. And we've got to figure out how we can fix that, because these resources cost a hell of a lot of money, and you also got jobs waiting on you at home that have to be done. Nobody's doing your work for you. So we've got to figure out how to improve that. One thing in earthquakes that we're not used to in a rapid response, the need for you goes up on a steep curve. Our ability to get you there is on a curve like this. the need not to have you, it was down on a steep curve, and our ability to get rid of you is like that. We've got to fix that, okay? That's what we need to really work on and fix those kind of issues. So be patient, and as far as the federal government, speaking for FEMA and everything, Bruce Bauman, which is in charge of the whole national response effort in the United States, said, how are you guys doing? He's frustrated too. He said, let's get these things fixed. So people are thinking about you. They haven't forgot you. But like I said, urban search and rescue is the #1 issue in the United States right now. And even from Europe, before I left Washington, I got a call from the UN saying, what's going on? Because they want to know what's going on, whether they can send European teams in or not. And we said, no, we didn't feel that there was a need. Well, at least that system and that brotherhood and all that system is starting to
Do they have a new recipe for meatloaf?
I think the new recipe has horse meat back around. But anyway, everybody appreciates what you're doing.
Are the 4 teams that are working to respond outside the United States? It's Urban Search and Rescue Task Forces. Remember, all 8 California task forces were mobilized, plus 2 from out of state. It's the largest mobilization that we've done, obviously, within the state of organized USAR task forces. First time that we've activated all 8 of the task forces. So really, again, this is sort of a historic thing, and you're on the cutting edge of what's happening. The people in Sacramento are extremely pleased with what happened, with your activity, with the way that you responded, with your response time getting out to Travis, even though there were delays at Travis, as we know. All right, so anyway, your part, everybody has been exceedingly well pleased with. And again, these glitches that we're experiencing right now are just, part of the routine, and hopefully next time we'll be able to straighten that out. Again, from the director on down, and also the governor's office, of which we're a part, the thanks goes down to you, because they know the frustration that you're going through. So we appreciate each and every one of you, and for hanging in there with us. And again, what we need from you is your input, so the next time around we can make this a better system and help save lives and rescue people. Okay, if you have any other questions, I'll be out here for a little bit. Other than that, again, our extreme thanks for you for hanging in there. As soon as I get any more information on aircraft, we'll let you know. Thank you.
9 o'clock, at which time we'll do looks like about this time, 2 to 2.5 hours worth of training. If we move on into the afternoon session, we'll have PT right after lunches. And we're going to try and do some creative things this morning with base camp operations, even though our cache is tied up on the tarmac. We're trying to use some air guard equipment. So 9 o'clock, out front, we'll be using the theater again. We need to have everybody in place at 9 o'clock, so squad leaders, team managers, make sure you have all your people. Everybody needs to stay together all day long, because at the drop of a hat, we might be leaving out of here, just like Hawaii again. Make sure your gear's all tight. Make sure you police the area. We're not going to leave this place a shithole. We're going to clean up after ourselves, so it's better to start now than have a mad scramble in the air.
Here we are Wednesday morning. 0800 hours. Waiting to go home.
Roy Manning. Oh, Roy Manning. Hey, George, this is John Payne with the State OES and at the Regional EOC in Los Alamitos. I don't have that. Sure, no problem. This is John Payne with State OES, Regional EOC in Los Alamitos.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it ready. 213, you ready?
Yeah, please.
Okay, what do we need? We're trying to get an update from all the cities and counties.
780-5955.
Situation status is.
55. Yeah.
What your long-term resource needs are.
Or it should be a okay. Anything else that we need to factor?
Can you check on the that 941036 one to find out what their ETA is going to be? That is a military and what I'm looking for is that they want to have the ETA, they also want to know why is it 4 not 5? They laid out for 5.
Is there any possibility that you can fax us the information? When you get a chance?
Okay, so if you get an answer on that, I appreciate that.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Yes, sir.
What's the fax?
Oh,
You said to share all resources, so.
Okay,
Do
well.
we know what the fax number is here?
Just with water.
Yeah, here,
Well, they're off 795 water, so.
710,
That's what you're looking at.
795. Only thing, so this would not be.
If you guys have requested any resources.
Okay, on 04.
You can put those down too. And again, your damage assessment as well, like you have dollars. Just reason I've got a lot of cities and counties to call from, just, there's no way I know that one up for you. Yeah, resources needed, long-term resources like water and whatever. Did you get my meeting canceled?
Who sits that?
What happens if we get, say, they just fax something? I have no idea. Okay, well, I mean, there may be a possibility. I don't know who's coming. So, what about Libby Ladder?
Hi, Sammy. This is Captain Penny. How are you? Wonderful. I mean,
Okay. They're off.
why does that not surprise me?
Well, no, I'll check back with you later.
Okay.
Okay, one of them called here for water.
I'm getting phone calls from Dick Smith in Sacramento regarding jurisdiction questions, removal of crews and all of that. Yes. I guess the feeling I'm getting in June is he's not talking to Fred Rasmussen. Oh, really? It's really not my place to tell him to talk to Fred Rasmussen.
They went over there to have breakfast.
Oh, okay.
They went over there to get paid, to go visit. Let me call you back.
Okay. Cool. I won't worry about it.
It's the radio control room at the OES building. A radio storage room. The statistics man, Brian Beadnell from Task Force 3. Spends a lot of time on the phone.
Okay, so $3 a minute for all 6 lines? Alright, so say,
About 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning.
Write it down. That's the bottom line, how to get a tent up. You don't do it with 2 or 3 people. You should do it with a group. You can get it real fast. You had this thing up in less than 6 minutes.
What is the minimum people that you put in?
Usually we have a small squad of 4 or 5 guys. And they're really runny little guys that just run like crazy. I didn't see any runny little guys out here. But you put it down right and you put it up fast. I couldn't believe it. I was talking to the colonel on the phone. I said, supposed to help him put the tent up, but somebody's doing it. And it was stuff like that. No, it's perfect. This thing is sturdy. You cannot... These poles here, right here, could be a little more secure.
We have intention to do that.
Okay, well then you're okay then. But what you got right now without tension on this thing's going nowhere. I'm impressed. Well, good job. You can go right in the center and try to kick the center pole. You've got enough torque on all sides. Those poles will go nowhere.
Good.
And of course you do zip the flaps last. I saw you doing that. Flaps get zipped last. You don't zip them first because that'll tear. Because they're stitched in. But I got to tell you, you did a great job.
Some guy said the smell in this thing was terrible, but let me tell you, it's the greatest smell when you're in the cold and you're out in the field. That's almost like snuggling to my wife with a Chanel on. I mean, this is all you don't forget. We'll make a mention though, you can take a cord and nylon cord, any type of cord, and secure the post to post to keep the flaps open. That's about the only thing. But other than that, you guys can sleep in this and keep it running out for you for quite a while. Tear it down and put it back up.
Hey, sir.
Doing it again, right?
Right. Yeah. Get it right the first time.
Make sure you take your stakes out. All right, tell us the breakdown.
Look at everybody. Nobody's even doing work. You're stationary for the equipment and everything.
Okay, I want all the gear back where we found it the first time.
Yeah.
It worked together. We don't want it. We did it good putting it up. We don't want it to collapse on us. Everybody work together.
I say everybody on the outside, let go, let the guys on the inside.
He's got this comment for you. Tell me who you are.
What's your estimated time of arrival here at the baseball field? Let's have their best military.
One staging area. Set up one staging area. It's like 5 or 6.
Standing around, walk around. There's people that need help. Walk around, see who needs help.
One staging area, all the equipment on this side by the parking lot. One staging area. This is nice how we do losing stuff. One staging area.
Yeah, basically, you can do it here.
All over here.
Ready?
We got them all over here.
We got both of them over there.
One more side pole.
So firm. Don't slip up. Clamp it down. What expendable parts you got really are your stakes.
Don't worry about it.
All right, take it out. We're playing.
Okay.
Hey, tell me what you're doing.
How many times fold it out like you did? You'll do 2 center folds in. Work your folds around to go around the side.
Yeah. Hey, stage all the wood, all the posts, and all the hammers in one spot.
Those side ones flip in. After those go in.
Okay, lay it flat and fold the walls inside. Which cover?
Ben, tell them to pull it tight so we can get these bullets.
Okay, hold on, guys. Take the side walls, pull them back out. We want to pull it tight before we fold it.
High and tight.
I sound like Harold yet?
You got Harold-itis. More diaphragm.
It works though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get everybody to step into underneath it.
Okay, fold the sides in.
Somebody in the middle. Let's see if we can throw them up now.
Quick balance.
Coordinate it.
All right.
Okay.
Pole over here. Center pole. Center pole.
Yeah, we're doing this
Are you going inside?
one corner, the other corner.
I do too. There's worms in this.
Bring up the end. Bring up your end.
If you anybody to pull in them. That's right.
You know those.
No, right here.
No, wild back. Right now.
Marty, let us know when you guys are ready for us to pop this thing up.
Okay, just a sec. Number one turn out all nigga.
Yeah, quarter.
I'll tell you what, man.
Okay. I just make sure I was a staff officer before. I was augmenting the MP. The United States taking them over to
Yeah, take a look at where you're shifting. Look at the interior. I thought I already got that.
Once you break free, let her hold it out when they're
That ends over here.
You have another one? Okay. Hold the corner. We're gonna stake the corners first. Okay. Let's stake the corners. That was my accident. Anybody else Jimmy? Hey, wait a minute, this thing's wrapped around. Don't put the cord on it. Hey, Steve, we need some phones here too. Yeah, let's go. Let's see right out there. Need more phone right there. Okay.
Got two door pulls there.
One more on that side.
And you got one in the middle here.
Okay, watch the center pole. We don't get anybody on the
You got
center
one
pole.
on the other side here.
This thing right now.
You got a center pole.
Hey, watch that pole right there. Anybody else need another pole on the side? Right down there. I'm over here.
Center pole.
Okay, got a side pole there? Okay.
Set the corner roads first. I don't have propeller heads helping us.
Yeah, or else we would have known the right angle.
Where is he? Where's the engineer? You got to wrap around. See if you can find out what they're doing wrong here.
Now put the stake in there.
Now we got the. You guys got to put the rope around and nail it in. You can adjust the tension. Get some angle on that thing. You might want to get it out later on.
Okay, Sweeney, give me the camera. You guys set it up. I'm going to walk around the camera.
Okay.
Any way we can hook up a stake driver to the demo hammer or something?
You gotta be our leader here. You gotta tell us what to do.
You guys know, this is a simple operation.
I don't know. It's a training. It's a training operation here.
That's not it. The angle.
What do you think, Cap? Good to go? I think you guys get a, I'll give you a sat. I'll give you a sat plus.
Okay.
Get two poles or 3 poles pop out because you're thinking it's the wrong angle. You don't have to go that deep. And a good point that you brought up that I didn't think of because I was envisioning how fast you want to put the tent up to get yourself safe and secure and comfort, or bring whoever you're bringing in to a place until you're retrieved, is that you lay down your tent and take your lines and move them out when they're fully extended out, and you set your posts in there and you can torque it. I would be very honest when I tell my guys to put up the tent, get it up, secure it, and get yourself safe. What you have done, literally, is a non-textbook way. There's no written rule. You've done a great job. This sucker will not go anywhere. You can see putting out approximately 12, 15, maybe 18 people in here comfortably. This thing is not going to go anywhere. Let's say we have a torrential rain. My force I'm about 200 pounds. I mean, is this going anywhere? You gonna have a torrential wind that's gonna be that bad? That's what I'm saying. So basically, this baby will hold.
Yeah.
So you have definitely, in my viewpoint, First Sergeant, take your pole and I'll take my pole, and just let's just shake the sugar out of it. Ready? Now this would be what we call a real bad storm. And take a look. This thing's not going anywhere. You've done an excellent job.
Absolutely.
I give you
This is the second time we've seen it pin up.
I have to tell you, you guys did excellent, because you don't have to have this all torqued. you would torque it with your ropes because you want the rain to run off. You don't want it to build
It
up
would be
here.
impossible to torque it without
Yeah.
2 pegs for every rope. I mean, 1 peg for each rope at the angle. You would never get it. This is as torqued as, this looks as good as people who put it up with the 2 pegs.
Matter of fact, we put camel netting over this and nobody would even know.
Army way. Okay, so if you got it up, it's working. That's great. You're going to go to sleep. You did it in probably less time than it would take to do it the textbook way. So depending on how important. If you're going to move into a place and be there for 2 weeks, you want to do it slow and perfect. If you just need a place for overnight, I would do it just like this. Textbook way. You put your stakes in. You first get your lay.
Keep the number on that sheet. Just look at it.
I believe it's not how.
I don't know if anybody else knows.
It's the afternoon here. San Diego's cleared up. Basically, Task Force 3 is still on the cuts. Estimated time, the little pool we had going here. It's about 12 o'clock right now. So these guys are all losers. And we're out in Northridge on Wednesday, 2:30 in the afternoon. One of the apartment buildings that collapsed. Some media people here. Basically this building is resting on this bed right here.
Let's go.
This is side 2 of the building.
This is the one. This one didn't crash.
I'm out of water right here.
Where's the? Oh, I see the whole thing.
Turn left. So you see the car and your
Cue left as you're panning. Keep going.
And this was a 3-story apartment. This was the overhang for a walkway.
Eloise! Eloise! Hey, David? Hammond?
There's actually a car from the garage sticking through the living room floor here.
little copper. That's a big bowl. I didn't know what that was. You should get a group shot over here.
You got the whole building's part of it here.
Oh, look, here we got some marking. These guys are all over it down here.
You were in there?
Yeah, look at the
You got this came down on first. That's apartments down below, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tunnel for the apartment, through the apartment down here. What it does, they tunnel through all this stuff. Pretty much like an easy way to go. They ended up in that apartment maybe about 30 feet down that way.
Kodak moment. Let's see if we can find the most precarious place to stand under.
So that was the third, and that was the second. And those blinds.
Definitely indicated first.
Yeah.
Good view down here, too, Mike.
When the dogs work in the building.
Okay, now we get out of there.
Here it is. Let's come here. Can you get out over here?
I can get out.
There's a house fire line somebody used to get out. I'm right here, Harry.
Yeah. Are these broad structures in the wall too? Are these the same? I wonder if these are the same, similar.
Check the markings. That's about it. Yeah.
I see where they made their cut.
There's no hazards. Except the building.
How big's the hole, Frank? What? How big's that hole? What?
Catch that?
What's that, Bob?
What is that?
Void space, they may go through, look right straight where you are down low. Frank, see that pole's coming out? That's a void in there, isn't it?
No, it's just a collapse down. The
Oh, it is.
down.
It's not a void they made or tried to enter, huh? Yeah, I don't understand why they kept
Down
it
here
out.
below here.
You know, it's great to play armchair quarterback. You just
You've got
don't.
about 3 feet difference where it collapsed down, and all the collapse is filled in with all kinds of furniture and voids. Very little room to move around. Next door appears to be the laundromat. One thing holding the floors up on the bottom side was the remaining of the laundry machine. Laundry in the machine there.
Gonna get a roof line in the building. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hang, Harry. Hang out there. Rick, Jerry.
How you doing on video, man?
Good. One battery went dead. We got 2 more to go.
Okay. How about video? We got plenty left.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever seen with one of your
Yeah.
X's on it. Yeah.
Who's camera case? Who's camera?
Just take.
I don't know if one of the dog people are. What time did
4:30 in the morning.
Look at this.
That's too bad. No kids. Looks like the parents' room here.
Figure what that is right there. What's that, bar refrigerator or?
No, it's a dressing door for kids.
Oh, it includes it all right there.
Well, that room next door with the
Oh, look at
blood.
you can tell. Hey, look, you can tell firemen have been in here. Look, they found the Playboys already.
Task Force 6 here.
Right down there. Where's Harry there?
You guys send him in there?
Right here. Okay, get that desk.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Jen.
Everybody get your bag. Let's go. Let's start moving around. We'll look for the rest of the team.
Harry? There's enough work for us here, too.
Yeah, I know. It's not our town, man. We have to be requested, you know what I mean? Imagine if you were on an engine company, you know, working with some you knew, you wouldn't
If
call.
I was the first engine company in, I'd be pulling the bus.
Okay.
Dr. Ho, you got the other group, boss? Yeah, we saw her in the back. No. Hey, Zeke. Hey, Ben.
Here's a USAR marking.
I know.
What? There's a USAR marking here.
There's some blood. One of the dead bodies.
No, we can
He wanted to know where we were going next so we could stick together. Ben Ho wanted to know where we're just going back?
well, unless you wanted to go across and look at this garage.
Dude,
That's our, okay, we're about 3:30. We're going to be heavy in traffic.
there's no car, there's no just cars in the garage, right?
Yeah, two-story cars in the garage, parakeet.
This is the wall. Hey, hit it.
What I'm standing on here is the wall, the entire wall that came down flat here from the building up from above. The wall collapsed out and came down approximately a 5 to 6 story building, and this is the remains of it from a brick structure.
Pull through. The ladder.
He's had a rough line. Beecher, how's it going today? I'm going home. How much longer?
5 hours.
What?
5 hours.
We're leaving in 5 hours?
We'll be home in 5 hours.
We'll be home in 5 hours.
He's never 5 hours. That's my prediction. 7 o'clock, be there by noon. 30 billion, but 30 billion. Halloween here.
Q spotted the headline of the day. LA scrambled the code.
Damage estimates climb as high as $30 billion. President Clinton visited Wakeson.
Rebel soldiers, good morning.
Good morning.
How we doing?
Pretty good.
How's life at Travis?
Oh, wonderful.
Floors are cold, though. Your floors are very cold.
Wait. Whoa.
Here's John, his faithful companion, his bedmate.
Hey. There you go. Sit.
What's that dog's name, Ronco, or the,
Good boy. Sit. Oh.
9. You're supposed to say 9.
That's no.
10, 11.
Here we are.
Rin Tin Tin. And his faithful mate, John Quat.
We've been training. We've been training now, Mike, for 3 years, waiting to get our first opportunity to go out. We thought we'd be at the big one this time, but unable to do it. We searched and found Rick Risden.
And closely behind him.
They're a duo now, not like me and Rin.
Rin,
Thanks for having us.
do you have any comments?
He's real tired. We had a rough night last night. See?
Some of the guys slept on these things last night.
Here we are, the last day of our journey. Harold has called a special debriefing of the debriefing of the debriefing. One more episode in the last saga of the Urban Search and Rescue Team.
Taking a fog manual. What to do next?
The coach for Wisconsin. Yeah. 15 years.
Here's the plan. For those of you that are in the equipment purchasing group, we need to all ride on the first bus that's in line with the task force leaders so we can go ahead and finalize and review all the purchasing procedures as well as the things that we're getting. So everybody's going to be on the same page with that. Once again, also make the task force leaders feel comfortable with that. The next thing we need to talk about is demobilization. Everybody else, where you want to ride on the buses is, the next two buses is your business. Just make sure that you have your gear, that the gear bags are closed up, there's not stuff that's falling out of it. Last night we had these fanny packs that fell on the ground, we had goggles that fell out. I mean, it just wasn't acceptable. So please make sure your gear is high and tight and you look sharp, okay? I will take off my brush coat by the time we get to the main station. And if you can all have your helmets out when we get to the main station, the media supposedly is going to be there. Now, if the media is there, I talked with Chief Risen about that last night. Really needs to be one central spokesman so we get our message across as to the positive aspects of this deployment. And Chief Risen and I talked, and he said that he'd like for me to do that. So I will be the media representative. Any questions on anything relates to the task force, our operations, just refer them to me. That way there's not going to be any conflicting stories or confusing anyone. That's all. Okay. All right. So once again, on the media procedures, just refer them to me. We'll probably do a little press the tower. You'll take and put all the stuff back in your own bag.
This is how we've seen Harold all week. Megaphone in mouth. But he's getting good.
And then at that time, you'll go back inside or down to the basement to take your coveralls off. We'll put those in a stack to be washed. Is anybody not clear on these procedures at all? Okay, real good. Once again, media, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that.
I got a question, Harold.
Yes.
I think we can go high and tight with the caps instead of the helmets. Helmets aren't being used right there.
Listen up.
When we get back there to headquarters, I'm going to have Mike Sweetie hook up the video that we took and hook up the VCR, and we're going to hopefully be able to show you guys what we did see when we went out yesterday. So if you're interested in sticking around for a while,
Thank you.
we'll try and do that. But, also
non-rebreather mask, highest concentration possible. After the primary survey is complete, you want to do a thorough secondary survey, including serial vital signs. You want to make sure that you do a very thorough secondary so that you don't miss any injuries. Here we do have an obvious abdominal evisceration, but that may not be the patient's only injury, so make sure you do a thorough survey. In care for this abdominal evisceration, you want to make sure that you don't push any of the protruding organs back into the abdomen, move them, or disturb them in any way. The dressing that you want to use is something that is non-adhering. You want to keep it clean, you want to keep the warmth in, you want to keep it moist. You can use saline-soaked gauze pads, you can use sterile aluminum foil, and then you want to cover that and secure that well with tape on all sides, but you don't want to put anything on it that's circumferential because you might impede the patient's respiration. Remember, airway is a high priority and you have to keep reassessing that. One of the major complications that you have accompanying an abdominal evisceration is hypovolemic shock. So you want to anticipate that and treat it aggressively. This patient you want to have packaged well. We do have her on a backboard because remember, in the posterior aspect of the abdomen is the spine. All injuries to the abdomen are penetrating and deep until proven otherwise at the hospital, so it could go all the way to the spine, so you have to spinally immobilize your patient. Your patient, after it's been packaged, you have your dressing on. If your protocols allow, you may use the mask suit. It all depends on your specific protocol. Okay? And with an evisceration, because you don't want to push the organs back into the abdomen, you would not inflate the abdominal section, just the legs. Notice that here, you take all your personal precautions, gloves, or possibly even double glove in case you do have a cut in one glove. And if you're doing any airway maneuvers or the patient has any sputum, blood, or any airborne products, make sure that you have a mask on. If you're going to intubate, make sure you have proper precautions on your face. The anticipation of hypovolemic shock should be thought about and treated aggressively. Fluid resuscitation is recommended, but remember, your definitive treatment is not going to be done in the field. You want to get this patient to the hospital and to the emergency room and to the operating room. You do want to start IVs if you are paramedics, but don't delay your transport. Start your transport, put the patient en route. After they're packaged well, start your IVs. Large bore lactated ringers with the largest administration set and the largest catheter that you can fit in. Don't just start one, start two or even more if you have the sites available. Remember, hypotension is very grave and patients with abdominal injuries must be treated at the hospital. In summary, you want to assess your patient rapidly, administer supplemental oxygen, put a good dressing on the evisceration, something non-adhering, okay? Moist saline gauze or aluminum foil. Rapid transport and large bore IVs. Make sure prior to transport or en route that you contact your receiving facility and advise them that you do have an abdominal evisceration. What we're going to do is demonstrate the care and treatment of gunshot wounds. Before you even arrive on the scene, you want to make sure the scene is safe. First thing you do when you get on the scene is your primary survey. Airway, breathing, circulation. And this is very crucial in any chest injury. Airway. Patient's airway is patent. Patient is breathing, very rapid and shallow. You notice that it's obvious he has a sucking chest wound. Immediately you want to seal that. You can do it with a gloved hand because you will have your personal precautions on, and then you want to put on an occlusive dressing. You want a Vaseline gauze taped on 3 sides so there is a release in case it goes into tension. You want to go into your secondary survey because this may not be your only injury. You want to have a high index of suspicion, and any chest injury could lead into a hemothorax, which is blood in between the parietal and visceral pleura. It could go into a pneumothorax, which is air in between the parietal and visceral pleura. You could have a tension, which will develop from either a hemo or a pneumo, which causes a mediastinal shift and compromises the unaffected lung. You could also have pericardial tamponade, which is blood in the pericardium, which decreases cardiac output. You want to go into and treat this patient for shock, but remembering your #1 priority on any chest injury is airway. Reassess, and reassess the airway. Intubate early if needed and your protocols allow. If the respirations get shallow, assist with a bag valve mask. If tension develops, if it gets into a tension pneumothorax, there's many, you should go basic first, take off your dressing. Maybe the tension will come off there. If not, then you can relieve it with a needle decompression. Your landmarks for that are the 2nd to 3rd intercostal space. You find the sternal notch, go down to the angle of Lewis, go mid-nipple line with a large bore catheter, in, up and over the ribs. Hopefully, it'll depress, blow off the plunger on the syringe, and everything will come out. Watch for a tracheal shift. If it shifts, it should go back midline when you decrease the pressure. This patient should be very well packaged. Remember, the spine is in the posterior portion of the thoracic cavity. Any penetrating injury could hit the spine. Any injury to the chest should be considered penetrating until proven otherwise. The patient should be treated with massive fluids if hypotension develops. Anticipate hypovolemic shock. 2 large bore IVs, lactated ringers, or whatever your protocols advise. The mass suit is controversial in chest injuries or any injury above the diaphragm. If you do have an injury above the diaphragm, in reference to the mass suit, check with your local protocols. In Dade County, we wouldn't use it unless there was other associated injuries subdiaphragmatic. The patient should be rapidly transported because definitive treatment should be done at the hospital. In summary, what you want to do is assess and reassess the airway. Intubate early if needed. Put in occlusive dressing on any sucking chest wounds and reassess for any developing tension pneumothorax, pericardial tamponade, or any other concomitant injury. Start 2 large bore IVs, package the patient, and transport rapidly.
Remember to check your local protocols for treatment of penetrating wounds, especially the use of mass trousers in chest or abdominal injuries, since their use remains controversial.
Don't forget, there are a lot of complications from penetrating wounds to the chest, so be sure to transport your patient rapidly and remain in contact with the receiving hospital.
Be sure to communicate a complete report to the hospital, especially if the patient status changes. And that is EMED for this month.
It's time to go 24 on once again with Cole Schaefer Ambulance in Pomona, California.
Number 1 priority. Take our narcotics.
We're 24 on with Cole Schaefer Ambulance Service in Pomona, California. Pomona, on the east end of Los Angeles County, is one of the county's largest and oldest cities. We're with ACLS Unit 119, manned by Danny Manriquez and Greg Field. Manriquez, a 6-year veteran with Schaefer's, has been a paramedic for over 2 years.
It's all here.
Field, a paramedic for 5 years, is working on his 13th year with Schaefer's.
Schaefer is the largest ambulance company in the world. I mean, it's huge. We have sometimes 80 to 100 ambulances a day on the street alone. We have all over divisions. We have San Diego and all over the place. LA, South Bay. We have Pomona division. We have Santa Ana, Orange County. This is a very big company. We're just one end of it over here.
When do we get this one-way valve? You probably got it at the one-way valve shop. I have no idea. Well, what's it doing in the peds drawer? In the pediatric one-way valve? It's in the peds drawer. What's in that bag? Is that your lunch or what? No. Those are the pediatric defibrillator pads.
Hi, everybody. When needed, Cole Schaefer ambulance units restock or get additional equipment from Pomona Valley Hospital. This time, it's backboards left there from the busy night before. Pomona Valley Hospital was a trauma-level facility for 2 years, but in 1986, it was forced to downgrade that service.
So many of the trauma patients are medically indigent, and the county was not giving back any reimbursement for these patients, and most of them were unstable for transfer and had to be admitted to the intensive care unit. So, I mean, it would cause the hospital to operate in the red.
The backboards are loaded, and our crew has started its day.
to die. I hate it when that happens. Howdy, gentlemen. Hi. How you guys doing? All right.
78 years old. She's having chest pain. And she's had 2 heart attacks previously, and the last one was about a year ago. Yeah. Correct? She took a nitro about 5 minutes ago. She says she feels like she's getting some relief from that. There's no pedal edema, no JVD. Her blood pressure was 150, 86.
Okay, 150, 78.
78.
Okay.
Pulse is 86.
Regular or irregular?
Regular.
Regular. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 119, she claims that the pain is down to about a 2, but she seems very apprehensive to us. It's about the same. She has not changed any way in that. Hold off on it until we talk to her.
Valley Control 119. Let's go ahead and give her 4 milligrams of MS.
4. I did not tie it in yet. 119, that's affirmative. We have the patient loaded. We're beginning transport at this time. I do copy 4 milligrams of MS. We have her back on oxygen. We have an updated blood pressure of 118/70. 118/70. Pulse remains 80s, and we're seeing no ectopy on the monitor. Over.
Let's go ahead, unless you think you're going to need other assistance. Clear the air. It's 834 on the MS, if you give it right now.
119 is going on at this time. I do copy 834. The advisor beginning transport. We'll go ahead and break down. If we have any other problems, we'll just recontact you. This will be Cole 119 clear.
The Valley to Cole 119 clear at 835.
Okay, Danny,
Today, Danny and Greg are stationed at Pomona's South Quarters. Here, they simply wait for the next call.
119 quarter south. I owe you $2, right, Danny?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Hey, you didn't do the dishes. No.
As evening approaches, the call volume starts to pick up. Our first call of the night. A woman has mixed cleaning products containing bleach and ammonia.
All right, where's our patient? Where's our patient?
She was using cleaner tub with Ajax and Purine.
¿Cómo se siente ahorita?
Siento que me ahogo.
¿Se ahogo? ¿Qué está usando?
Cloro.
¿El Clorox?
Okay. Que la velatina.
¿Se hizo humo o...?
Sí, y siento que no puedo respirar.
It did become a smoke, a gas, and she said she's feeling nervous. ¿Respiró mucho o poquito el humo?
Poquito, porque me salió luego.
Luego se sientó?
Sí.
Yeah, she says she, it turned into a gas immediately, and she took one whiff and she ran out of the room. Yeah, 160 pelt. ¿Por qué no la llevamos al hospital? No vemos nada grave ahorita, se ve como está bien, pero lo más para estar seguro, okay? She should be checked out, she could have bronchoscopy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking she's experiencing right now.
This is the most traumatic call of the day. Man versus car.
Was he 44 stealing meat out of the store?
Yeah.
They start chasing him, he runs out, gets taken by a car.
Oh, he did get hit by a car.
Okay, obvious stuff we got is in the mouth, got a lot of broken teeth. Obvious right femur.
Find out.
Okay.
You learned it all, guys?
Yeah,
Hello?
I don't remember what happened.
Buddy! Hey! Don't move!
Okay, so...
What's your name?
Shelton.
What?
Shelton.
You remember what happened, Sheldon?
No.
You know where you're at, Sheldon?
No.
Okay, what?
We need a leg splint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't move!
You're gonna roll you over on your back, Shelton, all right? Just let us do it. Don't mess. Stay still, okay? Bring that board over. You just relax. Okay, down the wall. Okay.
Oh!
Oh! Okay, we're gonna move you. We're gonna move you right there.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Oh! Go!
Oh! Oh! Relax a little. Oh!
I believe it was one of the polls they took, it was in the paper, that Pomona was voted one of the worst places to live in the United States because of the crime per 100,000 people capita. It was a high crime rate. So I live in another city.
With this 24 on, Pomona didn't live up to its reputation, but those who work here know it's just a matter of time.
Well, that's Pulse for this month. Please stop by and see us at the International Association of Fire Chiefs Convention in Toronto, September 21st to the 25th. We'll be in booth LS12.
And as always, we leave you now with scenes of those who made this program possible. This was their Pulse. Next month, it could be yours.